So what's up, man? How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
Pretty good, man. Got stuck in some vicious traffic today. There was a wreck on the bridge, and so I was just kind of like stuck there, sitting for a while. Kind of
Yeah.
sucked.
You're in Florida, right?
Yeah, I'm in Miami. I live on the beach, so if I want to get to the office in mainland, I have to cross a bridge. So if that's like shut down, kind of just stuck there.
Uh, that sucks. I couldn't imagine that.
Nah, it's good though. So what's up, man? I listened to the Ode to a Friend was like the first song that I listened of you, and then I kind of went down the rabbit hole, listened to maybe like 7 or 8 songs. I like your style, bro. Like it's really cool. It's like not exactly the same as everybody else. A lot of people are on that like Lil Peep type of vibe, you know, but
Right.
it wasn't like so much of a like a copycat. It's like you can tell you have like your own sound and your own style. It's cool, man.
I appreciate that, man, for real.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
because when I'm making music, I mean, I feel like with anyone, you compare yourself, and then I did that a lot in the beginning, and then I finally just let it go, and realized, I heard this a long time ago. The world doesn't need another Drake or Lil Peep. It needs another, Andre or a Limousine, you know. So yeah, I think that's big in music. You just be yourself, and I've just heard that a lot lately. There's a lot of producers, just a lot of big names that say that every day. Just stick to what you're used to.
Yeah, for sure. So
Yeah.
tell us a little about yourself, man. Where are you from? What made you like want to start making music?
I was born like near Chicago, but I grew up in St. Louis. And then I'd say a big thing I remember about music. My brother moved to California, and I found like a mixtape, and it was a real tape. It was a mixtape of like it was a bunch of like it's like Saves the Day, Taking Back Sunday, Brand New, stuff like that. And I'd never heard that kind of music before.
Yeah,
Um, and I was probably 12. Um, and I just remember hearing it and being like, holy shit, I need this. Like, who is this? And all my brother's friends would still come around. So I asked him, I said, who is this? I just found this tape. And he's like, oh, that Saves the Day. And it's, I forget who else was on there, but he's like, yeah, I'll just give you their CDs. And then I dove in from then, and it was like seventh, eighth grade. Got a guitar. My favorite guitarist at that time, like getting into guitar, was Quinn Allman from The Used.
yeah,
Um, so that got me really into playing guitar, and I was into heavy stuff then. And my goal was to just write songs. Like I even wrote like in a bunch of journals. My only goal is just be able to write songs. Just get this release out. And then so I did that. And like following year I was able to write songs. And yeah, I forgot where I was going with that for a second. But everything that came out was really soft and indie like, and it wasn't like that heavier, like the Used kind of sound, or
yeah,
those like just good punk emo bands. Back then I couldn't create that stuff, and then that was like a stepping stone to me realizing I just got to create what comes out, you know
yeah. So
because
what do you think influences you to go towards like the softer sound, even though you were listening to harder, more aggressive music?
yeah, I'd say Brand New is really what put me there. Deja Entendu, The Devil and God. just that softer spoken kind of acoustic stuff he had on those. And then I listened to just a lot of indie too back then. Like I loved Modest Mouse. I'm trying to think of like a bunch of indie bands I don't listen to anymore that I can't even think of their names. But and then too, I realized, it's just a better, sometimes you got to accept being the bystander of a genre rather than being the genre. I heard that one time and it really stuck with me, you know. But I also I wrote a lot, and with recording, obviously you see my tracks, they're all from the last couple of years and not, old as long as I've been writing. So I really got into music um, like you know, I only have this much time to live and I want to leave something behind. And that's actually where Pete came in. After his passing, it was like, wow, I want to leave something behind like this. I need to start recording my music.
Yeah,
And that's when I really started to take it serious and just really just want kind of like a discography out there,
I feel you. What kind of goes into your writing process? Like, is it, something that you do just on the fly, or do you have like a certain way that you like to approach writing songs?
For me, I'm a sucker for melodies. Um, so if I hear a melody, usually what it is, I hear a melody and it puts me somewhere in the past, or maybe it puts me even in a vision of somewhere I want to be, or just some sort of feeling will, spark up and it just pours out at that time. It could be something so old I've been trying to get out and it just comes out in that melody, you know? So I'd say melodies, and then um, yeah, if I'm going through something, I tend to have to be going through something too because I'm super empathetic. So I feed off a lot of people's energy. I can write a lot about other people's problems rather than my own. Um, I just can never find the words for my own, and if I think of someone else's problem, it pretty much just flows out. It's pretty crazy. Um, But yeah, I go about it a lot of different ways. If there's a song I really want to do and I don't have nothing to write for it, I'll go back and just like journaling and poems I've wrote, or just something I'll just write off the fly, some rhymes that'll come to my head, but have no melody for it. But then pull them up for a beat or pull them up with a guitar part I've made, and then it fits. And I've wrote songs that way before, where I just pull up an old notebook and that entire paragraph fit with that entire track. So
Yeah, I feel that.
yeah.
Do you feel like where you're from affects like your style or what you do at all? Is there any like local scene that you take from or are involved in?
I'd say just my peers, but then again, not even. I can't say I was influenced by a scene. I didn't really have one in St. Louis. I was definitely a loner when it came to the music I listened to.
Yeah,
My friends weren't. They didn't know any of the bands that I listened to or even listened to bands. If they did, it was like something that was on the radio or a guilty pleasure that I showed them, you know.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, they just didn't think highly of that kind of music. They kind of thought it was soft and stuff like that. So no, it wasn't a scene. I'd just say my brother was a big one. Um, and then I had a neighbor, two neighbor kids. They super into music, really good guitar players, and linked up with them, who taught me a little, my intro to guitar, my, just normal chords, and strung me along the way to which guitar to buy, and basically told me what is good and what's not good music, as far as real music and what's not. Um, I mean, now it's different nowadays. I feel like a lot, but yeah, I'd say just personal. Yeah, I don't know. I was alone. I didn't have really much people to influence me on my music. I just listened to what was good and just now play what feels good.
Yeah. So do you produce as well, or do you just play guitar and do vocals?
I do. I mean, I produce my own I haven't released anything that I've produced except for uh Dove 2 on SoundCloud. Produced that one, and then I mixed the vocals on Giving Up, and then Blackout Party. I produced that one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and that was just a fly song I wrote at like 5:30 in the morning. I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
I got up and just made a couple sounds, and then I was just like, "Oh, this is cool." Whatever. I closed it out, made the beat, and then I went home, or I went to work that day, came home, and then I just heard a melody over it. And usually the beats I produce, which sucks, I can't sing on them. Like
Yeah.
I can't hear the melody, I can't get into a range or a key. It just doesn't work like that for me, which it's kind of discouraging. But I stick with it. But the guitar is where all of it starts for me. So I write on the guitar, write it all out as much as I can. Now that I have a computer and a DAW, it's kind of backtracked me a lot because I have all this different stuff to mess with. So I've really had to step back from producing and actually keep writing. It was really hard for me to learn the DAW, produce, and then also write at the same time because it was blocking my creative process. So I've finally balanced that out, and I've actually been writing a lot lately. I've like probably 3 songs written on acoustic right now that need to be actually transformed into actual songs.
Nice.
Um, so the Black EP that's on my SoundCloud with the cat on it.
Yeah.
So that one I wrote all those on guitar, and then I met someone online, a producer in Germany, and he transformed those all into that whole song, onto all those songs. So I had all the guitars ready for him and the vocals ready for him, and then he did that for me.
Nice.
That was like huge for me. That was just amazing hearing my music like first recorded, you know. And then I got a system, and then I still do like music over beats to kind of keep my creative process flowing and just keep releasing stuff. But I do have quite a few tracks that I'm trying to like get out and produce on my own. I'm just worried about quality and fans and first impressions. So I might actually just release it under Limousine, but actually under like a sub name,
Yeah.
you know, in like a different kind of project almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I want to basically make everything myself. But yeah, I'm trying really hard to do that.
What DAW do you use?
I use Cakewalk by BandLab.
Hmm.
Shout out BandLab.
Oh
I
yeah.
think yeah, I mean, it just works for me. I mean, a lot of people don't know it. A lot of people, because it's free, it's not considered you know, a major at all, I guess. But I don't know. It works for me.
BandLab is cool. I met some reps from BandLab at NAM. It's like a big music conference in
Yeah,
Los
I've heard of it.
Angeles. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I remember like the lady, like that was the first time I'd ever heard anything about it, and she was showing me like some stuff with it. It's pretty cool. I just I try to fool around with it, but I've been using Ableton for so long. There's really no reason that I'd want to switch. But it was pretty cool. Like I did fool around with it for a little bit. I could definitely see why you would like it.
Yeah. Is it BandLab or Cakewalk by BandLab?
Um,
Because there's a web version, BandLab, and then the actual proper doll is Cakewalk, which
Cakewalk.
is
Okay, so yeah, she was just showing me BandLab where you could like is really good for collaborating with people.
yeah. So I used BandLab to start with, actually on my phone before I had a computer, and actually I recorded. It's probably crazy to say this, but I recorded Dove. Oh wait, what? Yeah, Dove 2 vocals on there, and giving up vocals on there,
Nice.
not knowing what I was doing at all. I just downloaded that app, found out I could put a beat on there, and I was actually in a I did this and I had to do it this way because I just wanted to record, and I was in a sober living program at the time, or a sober house at the time. And man, just went in the bathroom and knocked out those songs, man. It was awesome. It just really got to do what you got to do, and it just really, you know, kept me going for real.
For sure, man. And the way technology is nowadays, it's like if you have a little bit of music knowledge, you can usually make it work for you, you know? Like
Yeah.
it surprised me. I was so I got to sit in on a an interview with Martin Garrix, like somebody like a friend of mine was giving the interview, and he was talking about how like he records his acoustic guitar stuff on his phone, and then he just like likes the grittiness of it. And that guy's like a world class producer, and he'll just record guitar on his iPhone and like put that out on a record.
Oh yeah. Did you say Phineas?
No, Martin Garrix, the
Oh
the like big EDM
yeah, yeah,
DJ.
yeah. And
Yeah,
I've actually I know some producers that actually do that. They record off their iPhone a lot of stuff, even vocals. Like it's weird. I didn't, but they say that microphone picks up crazy frequencies. So
yeah. So I guess if you know what you're doing, then you know we can pretty much do whatever we want with our phones nowadays.
yeah,
And I wouldn't have been able to say that. Like listening to tracks, I would have never have thought like, oh, this guy did it on his phone. You know,
right.
sounds like just any other track to me.
Yep. And it's the thing, like I was talking about someone when I first started. It's like I was like, man, it seems like there's no rule to this, and there's a million different ways to get to the end result. And
Yeah,
he's like, pretty much, dude. And I was like, now that's kind of, it's overwhelming, but at the same time, it's a relief, like
yeah,
there's, no rules to this stuff. And I do struggle with that though. Like it's more of a mind thing, I guess. It's like I'm still not happy that it's made that way, because I always feel like, for me, anyways, that's me producing. Well, it could be better.
yeah,
Maybe if I didn't do it that way, it could just be better. But
yeah.
then again, it's what you have, or like you were saying.
Yeah, man. I feel like a lot of times people tend to overthink stuff that they're, you know, creatively doing themselves because like you're your own harshest critic, you know.
Yeah,
It's like people like will probably really like it, but you're like, no, it could be a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better, you know. And some I when I learned this, it's like obviously a lot of people are not as good as these musicians, but Kind of Blue changed jazz music forever. Miles Davis walked into that recording with some chord progressions and they improvised that. And they did it one time, that's it. And so
right.
sometimes just like the first take is the best take, you know?
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. Yeah. And like I'm definitely hard on myself. And like I'll listen to other music and just be like, okay, let's say this is my song. What would I change? And I instantly find flaws. And I'm like, wait a minute. I mean, this is a well-known song, and I don't like that in this. Or it might be like a hi-hat too loud or something. I'm like, if this was mine, I would be like, well, that hi-hat's too loud, and probably, you know, I'm just way too critical. I feel like, when it comes to that kind of stuff. And then I've recently finally let it go because I'll kind of get froze like, well, I don't want to make anything because I'm not going to be happy with it anyway. Like I get in that kind of mode, or I'm like procrastinating actually getting to do it. And I'm like, already putting myself in a bad space, before I even get there. So like, I've really, even just these past couple days, I've gotten a lot better at just do it, just let go, just see what comes out. And it's been so much better.
Yeah, that's
Not,
understandable, man.
yeah.
Do you do you feel like there's anything like specific in your life, like, or in your past that tends to influence, your like music content the most?
Yeah. I'd say probably in just one word, addiction. Um, I've lost a lot of friends to addiction. Struggled with addiction for 10 years, on and off.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, I've been clean over a year now, but yeah, I'd say getting clean a year, um, and then quarantine happened. So that's when it really all started going full speed. But yeah, I write a lot about that. It's pretty haunting, my past, and like it still haunts me. Like I wake up, bad dreams or just weird smells sometimes triggers stuff, and it's just a lot of weird, even just like a deja vu moment or something like that will throw me off, and it just, yeah, a lot of my writing comes from that and just losing people.
yeah,
So yeah, but basically just, I mean, it's just everyday struggles everyone else has almost, maybe not addiction, but I mean, as far as my writing, just try to send a message too. Like I would tell that to anybody that makes music. Try to send a message, whatever it is.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm really trying to do. Is make music that people can relate to also. So
yeah. And what do you feel like your message is? Like, what's the main thing you're trying to say with your music?
um, just keep going, really. Um, I mean, it's hard to say because the music that I do have out. Um, But yeah, I mean, that is what I would like to say is just like do something that you love. Try to find something that keeps you going, that keeps you breathing, something that keeps you happy, you know, um, and just create. If you're an artist, don't stop creating and then engage with people, connect with people. Um, yeah, just, I mean, a positive message, that's for sure, you know.
Yeah. Do you feel like you'll have, like, what do we got to look for in the future from you? Do you feel like you're gonna have an EP or an album like ready soon? Maybe some videos?
Yeah, I definitely want to get some more videos out. I just have a few lyric videos on YouTube, which, as far as like videos, man, I haven't really dove into like creating and stuff. So like I'm just trying to work on my music also, worry about all that. So it's super hard to get. I'm always in the back of my mind like, oh my gosh, I need to get a lyric video out for, Ode to a Friend especially.
Yeah.
So anyone that sees this, if you want to hit me up for a video, that'd be awesome. Um, uh, but I'd say, yeah, man, those me producing my own and getting that stuff worked out. I'm gonna see if anything comes of that. As far as like that'll be probably, I see that being an album like maybe in a year
Mm.
once I work it all out. But for upcoming, I have probably 4 songs finished that just need to be mixed. Um, and then those will be out. And then hopefully, yeah, I don't know, man. Every day is really new as far as like music. I mean, I have a couple other projects with people that are not really taking off, but you never know. One day, just, so
Right on. Oh yeah, man. Well, I want to wrap up with 2 questions. First one is, if you had one piece of advice to give to somebody, what would that be?
mm, um, man, I don't know. Do better. Just be better every day. Just try to do better than you were yesterday.
Yeah,
Just try your best, basically, you know, no matter the situation.
for sure, man. And what are you most grateful for?
Mm, I'd say uh, music, um, life, that I'm still alive, really. But yeah, I
Right.
mean, music's really kept me alive this past year and just really, I mean, I've met great people. I mean, it's only been like a serious year, you know? So I think this year is going to be just totally something else, is way better. And so, yeah, I don't know. I'm excited.
Oh yeah, man. Well, I'm excited to hear like any more music that you're gonna release. Like I said, I liked what I've heard so far, and you know, keep keep it up with like the year of um sobriety. That's awesome, man. A lot of people can't say that. You know,
Yeah, appreciate that.
it's not every day that people are able to pull themselves out of that. So really appreciate you taking the time out. Um,
I
Sorry
appreciate
about,
the opportunity, man.
no problem. Sorry about the miscommunication at the beginning.
Oh, no, that's good. That was probably my fault for real. Um, but yeah, I'm excited to show you my stuff, man.
All right, hell yeah, man. Well, I'll let you get going. Thank you again for doing the interview, and I'll send over the links when I'm finished.
All right, sounds good.
All right, man. Take care.
You too.
Peace.